Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's been a while. Actually, been a few months since I've made a video, but today is a special video, so I decided to come out of my hiatus. But today is a special day, right? Today's my mother's birthday, y'all. You know, but 6 years ago today, I just got off work, and I was working a graveyard shift. So I get off work finally after I finished doing my office work, and I'm about to go home, and my phone rang. It's my mom's birthday. I know it's my mother's birthday. And so I answer the phone, and I say, answer the phone, and I say, now, woman, why are you calling me? You know I'm not gonna forget your birthday. I was gonna call you when I was gonna call you as soon as I got home, But the voice I heard, instead of my mother's voice, was my brother, you know? So the question I immediately asked was, what happened to my mother? Because I knew immediately when I heard his voice calling me from her phone. And he said she had a major stroke. It kind of flipped my world upside down at that moment, And that was 6 years ago today, her birthday. And it was a chaotic time for me because I was way out on the West Coast in Vegas, living my life, going through hell, going through a lot of hell at work. My personal life was in shambles, and life was a mess for me. And then I get that call. I chose not to leave out immediately because for other reasons, the lady in my life was due to have an important surgery, and though she told me to go, I had chose to stay and make sure she made it out her surgery okay, which she did. And so once she was home, I left, got on the next flight out to the East Coast, y'all. Out to the East Coast. When I got there, my brother took me to see our mother. She was still in the hospital. She was still with us. And he told me the doctor said, the doctor explained and told him, we don't know how she survived the type of stroke she had, And we don't know my mother. That lady was not going anywhere until I got there. So, spent time with my mother. We had to move her to hospice, and it was a difficult time for us, It was a difficult time for us. Those of you out there who have gone through something similar, you know what I'm talking about. But, let me tell you something about this lady, how special she was. Because she couldn't eat, she couldn't swallow, she couldn't talk. You know, she had a feeding tube, which I had removed. I had to remove it, you know, and because she didn't want it, you know. Uh, Special because the last time I physically seen my mom, it was right before I was going to leave and go back out west, and the lady came in there. It was me, it was my brother and our aunt and myself, and she explained that, you know, there was nothing they could do. She wasn't gonna make it. My mom wasn't gonna make it, and you know, I did what was expected of me, because my mother had us well prepared. I mean, though my brother and I at the time, we haven't spoken in years up until that point, it was like we was in sync, we was in tune, because we was well prepared. But my role was to be the strong one and to keep everybody together, keep him together. You know, and it's funny that I say that because I'm actually the youngest, you know. But I let my brother and my aunt go to the office and have that conversation. I chose to stay back with my mother, and had a conversation with her alone. Remember, she couldn't talk, she couldn't swallow. But here's where I say she was a special woman, because a special soul, strong, because I start talking to her, y'all, and she closes her eyes, you know, and she starts straining, and wouldn't believe me when I tell you that lady opened her eyes again and she spoke to me. It was a slight whisper, but she spoke to me. And I had one last conversation with my mother, you know. And I remember sitting there talking to her, and we had our conversations, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. And I remember her looking past me at one point, you know, and I could feel the presence behind me. And I said, I asked her, I said, you can see them. They hear you. You can see them, can't you? Because I can feel them. She looked at me and she said, yes. And I said, you know, I told her, I said, I got to go back home. But if it's your choice, if you want to, you know, you feel your job not done here, you got work to do, but you ready to move on, move on. Don't you worry about me. I'm okay. I'm fine. She always worried about me, y'all. And I'm going to keep it together with my brother, and I'm going to keep the family together. I'm not going to let you down. And that's what I've been doing, y'all, ever since, you know. I left back, jumped on the plane, went back out, flew back out west. And a week later, on a Friday, Friday morning, I'm at work, I got the phone call. My brother called me, he said our mom was gone. I talked to him, consoled him, kept him strong. And that moment, I made a decision, you know, because my mother was my alarm clock. Okay, it's time, baby. And when I got that call, I knew it was time. I got off work, I left my job, told everybody, okay, y'all, I see you all on Sunday night, knowing they was gonna see me no more. Yeah, that's how that went. I left and bounced. I got up out of there, y'all. Only only about 2-3 people I pulled to the side secretly and say, listen, you know, I'm not coming back. The rest of them, the rest of those devils, you know, they didn't know a thing. Yeah. Also got the cutting people out of my life. It was cleanup time. It was cleanup time for me, you know, and eventually here I am back on the East Coast with my family. My brother and I are closer than ever. Just like I told my mom, you know, I got my sons and I got my family around me. Only one missing is my baby, my daughter, who is, you know, living her life out on the West Coast, on the coast. That's my baby, but I keep in touch with her too. And I'm doing what I told my mother I would do. Keep the family together. She was all about her family. Nothing was more important to my mother than her family. Always laughing, always joking. My mother was the type, she would fall and she wouldn't even be concerned about whether she was hurt or not, because she'd be too busy laying there on the ground laughing at herself. That's just who she was, you know what I mean? She'll be there laughing, always joking. She would give anybody the shirt off her back, you know. She would feed anyone, you know. I remember in the summertime, she'll have us bring her grill downstairs, and she'll be there grilling burgers and hot dogs, and anybody was hungry, even if she didn't know them, she's gonna give them some food. That's my mother, y'all. You know, always smiling, always laughing, always helping people, especially her people, especially if you was American and you were indigenous, you know. Because my mother was born, she's from the South, you know, born in 1942, Charleston, South Carolina. Yes, you know. So she had that energy in her, y'all. As nice as she was, don't cross her, because whatever she spoke was gonna happen. Believe me. There's one thing you did not do, and do not mess with her babies, her children, because if you did that, that lion was gonna come out, you know. But you know, I had to come out and take a walk and talk about this in honor of my mother, you know. So shout out to you, Mom. Love you. I know you're watching, keeping an eye on me. I'm doing what I told you I would do, and you know, and doing my best to keep it together. I am. Shout out to my family, you know, all my family, all my peoples, you know, all my family down south, You know, yeah, that's it, y'all. You know, I'm gonna go back into my hiatus, but y'all will see me again. There's a lot going on with King B. You know, I haven't been saying much. I know I've been quiet. You know, shout out to all my subscribers. You know what I'm saying? Those who been rocking with me. You know, but I'm here. There's a lot that I want to say. There's a lot that I want to talk about because, you know, all the confusion, all the lies, all the things that have went on in my life, people closest to me, people have a lot to say. And I've been taking a high road, and I'm going to continue to take the high road. But a book is coming, y'all. That's one thing I've been working on. I'm going to tell my story, written by my hand. But that's all I got for y'all. Love all of y'all who've been rocking with me. Love yourself unconditionally. Keep your loved ones close. Show love to each other while you can. Because believe me, you never want to wait until someone is gone and now you want to talk about how much you love them. Tell them while you are here, while they're still here. You know, tell them that. Protect the women, the children. You know, there's a lot going on out here. And so it's real important to protect the women, protect the children. Men, look out for each other, stand together, band together for what's right and righteousness, to protect our household, our communities. It is our responsibility, no one else's. Please do not forget that. We can't sit around expecting anyone else to protect us and protect our communities. That's our job, that's our responsibility, okay? Until the next video. The next video won't be so far away. Keep yourself safe out there, everybody. Peace.